Fifth one, Nasrul Madlum. See, any nation, regardless whether Muslim or non-Muslim, where oppression, tyranny, injustice is prevailing, then this ummah will be disgraced. This ummah will be, this nation will be humiliated. This ummah will be under the feet of other people, regardless. And if vice versa, the ummah, the nation, is prevailing justice and lifting the oppression away from the one who's been unjustly dealt with, the weak people, Allah will give them prosperity and triumph, even they are non-Muslims. That's why the Romans, they had excelled. They were running all over the globe, in the continents. They were ruling. Why? Because they were, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, which is Amr ibn al-As, he said, قال أنصره للمظلوم. That means they give the help to the person who's in injustice. A person who's under the injustice, they will help him. Not only that, أمنعهم لظلم الملوك. They will prevent their leaders and kings to do injustice and tyranny to their people. When they do something wrong, they will investigate him. They will grill him, interrogate him. Okay? That's why, because of these characters, Allah will make them to last for a long time, the Roman Empire, because of these things. So here we find a story that's taken place after the Prophet ﷺ went to Medina, and these people came from Habasha, who made the immigration. Prophet ﷺ was saying, and he was keen to know, tell me of the most amazing story that you have seen yourselves in Al-Habasha. So one of the companions said, Messenger of Allah, while we are sitting, there was an old woman from the priest woman, and she was holding the jar on top of her head. Brothers, can you come forward, Ikhwan? Fill up the gaps. It's important to fill up the gaps. Don't sit scattered. Shaitan will come in between you. Lock him up. Jazakallah khair. So this woman, she's a nun, priest, she's holding the jar of water on top of her head. A youth came with his hand between her shoulders and he pushed her. And she rolled on her face and the jar was broken, the water and the liquid was out. So she looked at that young, and the Prophet is listening to what the companions are telling him about the story. She said, you traitor. So this priest woman, she's telling him, you traitor. You will know when Allah gathers the first and the last, and He puts the chair, al-kursi, and then to justify and put judgment between the people, you will know what's going to happen to you, you traitor. Tomorrow you will see. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said, how truthful she was. For verily, how Allah going to give triumph to a ummah, to a government, to a nation whom they do not give justice to those who are being unjustly dealt with from the weak people. She's weak, old woman. So if the government, the Abyssinian governing body, they don't really take justice for that woman, Allah will make them to be doomed. And they were doomed. They're finished. How can Allah give triumph to those people? So in this, to say Nasrul Madlum, to help the person who's unjust. Now, you need to understand as well, we make Nasr not just to the Madlum, to the Zalim. How the Zalim? Prophet he said, Unsur, help your brother, Zaliman or Madlum, whether he's oppressor or being oppressed. Messenger of Allah, we help him when he's oppressed. How can we help him when he's an oppressor? He said, you prevent him from his oppression. So Allah Azza wa Jal commanded us to help the ones who are under oppression, even if that takes you to the extent of fighting the oppressor. وَإِن طَائِفَتَانِ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ قَتَتَلُوا. If two fighting Muslim believing groups had to fight one another, وَإِن طَائِفَتَانِ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ قَتَتَلُوا. What does he do, Abdullah? What's the rest of the verse? وَإِن طَائِفَتَانِ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ قَتَتَلُوا فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَهُمَا. Make rectification, justification. Now, one of them does not want to justify. فَإِن بَغَتْ إِحْدَاهُمَا عَلَى الْأُخْرَى. If one is to transgress against the other, فَقَاتِلُوا الَّتِي تَبْغِي حَتَّى تَفِيَ إِلَى أَمْرِ اللَّهِ. Fight the one who transgresses. You fight it. So we're going to fight physically those who are the oppressors from the believers, because they have transgressed after the justice being made. We settle your issue. What's wrong with you? Why are you fighting? We stop you by fighting. So Allah is telling us to fight. Prophet ﷺ, he said, Man hama, he who had protected mu'minan, a believer, protected his honor, protected his reputation, min munafiq, from a hypocrite, whether this hypocrite is a kafir or a hypocrite which is a Muslim, ba'ath Allahu lahu malaka, Allah will send him an angel, yahmi lahmahu yawm al-qiyamah min nari jahannam, to protect his flesh to be touched by the hellfire, the fire of the hell. So an angel on the day of resurrection will come just to protect your flesh from the fire. What's this angel task? Is to help you on the day of resurrection. Why? Because you help your brother. In his absence, he's not present, somebody's talking about your brother, you tell him off, stop. What are you talking about? I don't believe you. Stop it. Otherwise, if you don't really say that, or if you don't go away, you are the same thing as a culprit. You are helping into this so-called backbiting or slandering. Be careful, akhi. Also, ikhwani, Prophet ﷺ, he said, إِنَّ النَّاسَ إِذَا رَأَوْا الظَّالِمَ وَلَمْ يَأْخُذُوا عَلَى يَدَيْهِ أَوْشَكَ اللَّهُ أَنْ يُعُمَّهُمْ بِعِقَابٍ مِنْ عِنْدِهِ. That Allah Azza wa Jal, he said, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, if the people, they see the oppressor, the one who's tyrant, does not stop from his tyranny, then Allah Azza wa Jal will make them to be punished in or in general. أَوْشَكَ اللَّهُ أَنْ يُعُمَّهُمْ بِعِقَابٍ مِنْ عِنْدِهِ. A general punishment, whether it is to do with famine, or it's to do with lack of sources, or whatever it is. Khwani, Allah Azza wa Jal had warned this ummah that if you have dhulm and oppression in it, then this punishment will not just go onto the zalim, but will go into even the just. Prophet Allah Azza wa Jal said, وَاتَّقُوا فِتْنَةً لَا تُصِيبَنَّ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنْكُمْ خَاصَّةً. Be aware of a fitna that will come to you. It will not just get the ones who are the culprit and the naughty and the bad ones, but also it will get those people who are just. واتقوا فتنة لا تصيبن الذين ظلموا منكم خاصة واعلموا أن الله شديد العقاب. And know for a fact Allah is the one who punishes a severe punishment. Now, upon this hearing, one of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ, she asked the Messenger of Allah, I think it is Zainab to Jahsh. She said, أَنَهْلِكُ وَفِينَا الصَّالِحُونَ. Are we going to be destroyed while we have amongst us the righteous people, Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman, amongst us? He said, yes, إِذَا كَثُرَ الْخَبَثِ. If too much of corruption, the punishment will come regardless of those people who are good amongst you. That's why it is encouraged for those who are righteous, if they are living in a land where corruption is a lot, to what? Migrate, leave, because you might get the same punishment that those who are no good, even though you are good. So you have to leave. Just like that man who killed 99 people. He asked the scholar, he said, you're in a bad land. Leave that bad land to the good land. Because you're on bad lands. Don't stay amongst the ones who are ظالمي أنفسهم. The ones whom Allah Azza wa Jal, he said, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ اللَّهَ غَافِلًا عَمَّا يَعْمَلُ الظَّالِمُونَ إِنَّمَا يُؤَخِّرُهُمْ لِيَوْمٍ تَشْخَصُ فِيهِ الْأَبْصَارُ مُهْطِعِينَ مُقْنِعِي رُؤُوسِهِمْ لَا يَرْتَدُّ طَرْفُهُمْ إِلَيْهِمْ طَرْفُهُمْ وَأَفْئِدَتُهُمْ هَوَاءٌ, to the end of the verse. Don't stay amongst those people who are being wronged themselves. Coming to the